Cognitions, speaking the unspeakable with JP
and Stacy D.
I'm JP Craddock, and I'm here with the one and only Stacy D. Love. We are broadcasting here on KUAW Radio, which stands for Knowledge, Understanding,
and Wisdom.
All right, coming up on the show today, around the half-hour mark, we have our question of the day, which is, how do I fire a family member from my company? I have hired multiple family members, and unfortunately, some are not working out. How do I fire them without making things awkward at Sunday dinner? So, D, do you have, we're not going to get into this right now, but do you have any family working for you right now?
All my children work for me except for one.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
And I have some other relatives also.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Okay, because I have a thought on that. But you're going to have a lot to say about this. Okay, so that's coming up. But first, let's get to our check-in. D, what's your check-in? Give us some good news, D. Give us an update.
Okay, everybody. So, remember I told everybody that I only made 4 goals for this year, for 2023. And I was only going to do one goal, accomplish that goal, then we was gonna move to the next, because we always gonna the KUAW, JP and Stacy D, Cognitions, speaking unspeakable, we was gonna do this as a family thing. It's always better when you have other people there and they're supporting you, they're making you accountable and everything. So I just want to let everyone know that from last Thursday to this Thursday, I lost 5 more pounds. I did do what you told me to do in the gym.
Which thing did I say to do?
To be on the treadmill talking.
Oh, yeah.
And I even had them singing.
On your core. Okay, you kept your core tight.
And we had them singing, and then the little young girl gonna be like, can y'all keep it down a little bit, please? Y'all disturbing other people.
Really?
Yeah, because we were singing loud.
Oh, y'all was singing loud like Patty.
Yeah. It was about 5
Patty
of us.
sing loud.
It was about 5 of us on the treadmill, but we was getting down.
Really?
I said, we lose more weight, y'all, if we sing out loud.
That is so funny. Yeah. Y'all were loud enough that they had to come over and shut down the concert.
I had to shut the concert down.
But while you were doing it, singing from your diaphragm, which you all are supposed to breathe from also, you felt it though. Did you feel it?
I don't know, but it was really fun. So,
well, that's another incentive.
Yeah, that was another incentive. It felt really good. I had everybody else. I guess I am really a natural born leader. So I had all these other people up in there, and we singing, and we on the treadmill, and we were actually going faster.
Yes.
So we was all up there. Hey, I take your man right on up out of your hand. We was salt and pepper. We was doing some Run DMC, and it's really funny how my European brothers and sisters remember all those raps better than I do. Because sometimes I just have to jump in because I remember a couple of words, but they be going.
That's who Salt and Pepper made all their money from.
Yeah, because I didn't have no money to go buy. Listen, I didn't have no money to go buy the album. We was listening to the radio. Remember, we had to be cassette, and we would record it. Oh, yes. Wow, those was the good old days.
But they were buying the
they
albums.
were buying it. Because we didn't have no money to be buying it.
This is really good. I'm glad to hear you say this, because if you can make the workout fun,
exactly,
that will keep you in the gym. Another thing that you just mentioned that is very, very good is music. I can't work out without music, but one of the things I've noticed is if I'm listening to a fast song, I work out faster. If a slow song comes on, I slow down. Mm-hmm. So music really does help you to pace your workout. And so what I'll do is listen to a string of fast music to increase my overall calorie burn.
And then your cool down You put on a slow song of Patty.
That's when Luther come in.
Oh, that's when Luther come in.
A little bit of Luther, some Patty, but for that's Janet.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's Janet, because you gonna be moving.
1, 2,
You can't
3,
do
4.
Right. You can listen to some Mariah for the cool down. But when you trying to do the serious burn, you need Janet.
Are you going to see Janet?
OD.
Because I'm going to.
Of course I'm
Have
going
you already
to.
already got your tickets?
I got my tickets before you got your tickets, because I got a pre-sale. I'm not playing.
I did pre-sale too.
You did pre-sale?
Because here go the thing about it was because everyone was tripping on Usher and in Vegas. He young. He gonna come out again. Listen, everyone. I'm not Janet's promoter. I'm not her. Who was at the television?
Manager?
I'm not her manager.
Okay.
But Janet is about 56 years old. This is probably going to be her last or next to her last. And if no one has never ever seen Janet before, let me tell you something. Janet performs. Y'all think Beyonce? That's where Beyonce learned how to perform, from seeing Patti LaBelle and Janet.
I'm talking
Period. I'm sorry.
Full show. Like, she's still moving.
Yes.
Like she's not 56 years old.
Exactly.
And so, oh yeah.
And I'm 54, and everybody know what happened to me, right?
Well, you still drop it like it's hot.
Yeah, and I can make it come back up, but the next day it's all bad.
But you and Janet, because you was dropping it like it was hot back in the day, and she was doing her dance moves back in the day. Y'all still can do that now. Yes, it may take a little longer to get back up from the drop, and the next day, yes,
Next few days.
the next.
Yeah, it's all bad. Because remember, that happened. That was happening on a Saturday night, and I was still could only go up the stairs on Thursday.
Guess what? Though,
What?
with this goal weight that you have set,
Oh yeah, it's gonna help with my
that is going to
extremities.
take weight off of your knees. You are going to be dropping it like you did back in the day.
I'm gonna invent the whole good knee challenge.
Wait a minute. That knee
What?
challenge was a bit much. No, I think now we do need to draw the line at the knee challenge. For those of you viewers and listeners who saw that episode, what y'all was doing in that video was not for people in their 50s. D, can you just drop it like it's hot and then
It's the
bounce
same
back up?
thing as a good knee challenge.
No, y'all stayed down and was doing, and it was a lot on the knees.
But you know what? They better be glad it wasn't enough room, because I would have did a cartwheel. You know, I remember the time I did the cartwheel, and yeah, they better watch. They better ask somebody.
Let me tell you, you need to be on the stage with Janet at the show.
I do. I need to want her backup dancers or something.
Here's the other thing I like about Janet is for her shows, she does not hire old dancers. Like, they be young dancers, and she keeps up with them.
Sure
I
do.
think she intentionally hires young dancers to be sure that she is going to be able to keep up with them.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a part of the fitness.
Yeah.
And so,
it's
yeah.
not like what's her name?
Who is that?
I can't think of her. She has no kids. She was in a long relationship with Casey. Mary J. Blige. Now Mary J.
Mary
Blige
J.
she cannot dance.
Mary
Wow.
never really danced.
But now she trying to do a little something, because I went to St. Louis to go see her for my birthday this year.
She was doing
She
something?
was trying to do a little.
Mary J? Mary J don't do all that. Mary
Yeah,
J
she
hasn't
did.
danced
She was-
since
well, she was doing like
the Real
this.
Love video.
Hey, she was. You should say Mary. Mary was getting down a little bit, and then she only doing it for like 30 seconds.
Well, let me tell you. I'm going to tell you what probably motivated her. Because Patty be crip walking in her shows.
Patty's off the chain. And
she's
everybody,
76.
Patty's, I was just going to tell you, Patty is every bit of 75.
That's
and
your
she's
new
still
song,
getting
Rob.
down. I know, I seen that.
Ski fine to Patty. Yes. Patty is now an honorary member of Alpha
Yes.
Kappa Alpha sorority.
Yes, she
but
is.
Patty dances in her show. So if I was Mary J and I see Patty dancing and Patty's like 20 years older than me, yeah, you might want to do something. But I'm going to tell you who refuses. That's Mariah. Mariah make
She
them
knows she
carry
can.
her all over the stage.
Don't she now?
Mariah's like, I want to go over there. Come carry me across.
Pick me up. I'm going to stand still.
But because I love Mariah, and I still say her book is the best book I read last year, and one of the best autobiographies I've ever read. It has a lot of trauma in it, so if you haven't read it, you might want to be prepared. Not trauma, but a lot of racism and, well, yeah, some trauma from some dysfunctional family dynamics. Love Mariah. Mariah's vocals are so intense.
Her octaves is, whoa.
That when they carry her across the stage, I'll be like, yeah, go on and carry her across the stage. Because her vocals give her the right to not have to walk across the stage. She's like, y'all hear how I'm singing. Why I gotta sing and walk across the stage?
You know, we just talking
It was a good
today.
show.
Did you see her Christmas?
It was great.
It was. Did you see she brought her daughter out and had her
Yes.
try to make her sing too?
Well, yeah, she sang a little. She did
sang.
okay.
She sung.
She don't
didn't
sound like her
sing.
mama.
She didn't sing.
Yeah.
She sung a little.
Yeah, she doesn't have her, but that might come later.
It might grow in her, yeah.
Yeah, because Mariah's mother she was an opera singer.
Is that what? And she also played the piano, correct?
Yes, and so that's where Mariah has that high octave from.
Because she heard those
that
all
operatic,
the time.
yes.
Mhm.
And so it kind of run in the family. Her daughter's vocals may come later. We never know.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, here's my check-in. I have 2 short testimonials.
Let's hear JP short. We're going to time.
two short testimonies. Okay. One of them is, I pray a lot because I have to pray a lot. And you had given me the suggestion, because I typically pray throughout the day because, I don't want to mess nobody up. I need therapy to go well. And the D had said, well, because I was talking about how I wake up in the morning and grab the phone and immediately start working. And you were saying, don't do that.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
You start off praying to Jesus.
First thing in the morning.
Hallelujah.
Get your day started, though. It makes it feel a lot better down there.
Yes. So I've been starting off praying, giving thanks. So, I thank the Lord for my baby and for my wife and for my friends and my family and for my profession, my career, and my clients who are wonderful. Now, in giving thanks, I also pray for everyone's health and welfare and all of that. Well, one of the things that I pray, when I'm thanking the Lord for my baby, but I'll also pray and say, Lord, please keep her healthy and protect her from all harm, including anything ignorant or stupid that I might do. Because I'm still humble enough to be like, protect from
her graces,
from anything ignorant or stupid I might do. Okay, so let's get to the stupid part. I still iron. Okay, apparently black folks don't iron anymore. Nobody irons.
I do.
Do you iron?
We old school.
We are old school, but old school people ain't ironing.
But no, because I have to get on my granddaughter. She hates that I'm up in the morning when she's getting ready for school. Because that's once again, that's that old school parenting.
Yes.
And I'll be like, just because you're going to school with your European brothers and sisters, we don't wear no wrinkled jogging pants.
Our boys had to iron every day.
Yes.
Well, what I've been hearing from old school black folks, our age range, is they don't iron anymore, and they have been shocked when
So what are they doing to their clothes?
Putting them on and wearing them
and being wrinkled.
Yeah, they're not ironing. Women can get away with it more because y'all's clothes are more fitting. So
guess
really
what? Right now, the men clothes is real fitting too, and that is such a turn off for me.
That might be why the men are able to pull it off.
I think that's such a turn off.
But men
I hate seeing a big old booty with these big old booty men with these tight. I mean, I love seeing a man in a nice fitted suit. And I'm not talking about hugging suit.
You ain't talking about skinny jeans.
No, skinny jeans.
Skinny pants.
Skinny pants and high waters. That don't look good to me.
Yeah, and because everything in men's apparel, most of the clothes now are slim fit. And so when I buy
And
clothes,
show now when you 350 pounds, do not put nothing on slim fit. There's nothing slim about you.
but that's what they sell it as. And so if you buy your size in slim fit, it's tight. And so what I have to do is buy all my clothes 1 or 2 sizes larger because everything is slim fit. But men our age are typically not doing slim fit. They're just walking around wrinkled.
Yes, they are.
Well,
I don't seen a couple fools.
the fools still need to iron. Okay, so I still iron. Everybody's like, you iron? Well, the iron broke.
And it was hard trying to find another one. Mine broke this summer. Oh my God.
Let me tell you, the iron broke. I started calling around trying to borrow an iron. Do you know nobody had one? I called Kelly. Kelly was like, iron? I ain't had an iron in years. I was like, you've been a wrinkled heifer for years.
I got my good iron and my backup iron.
I didn't have a backup. So I rushed into Walmart, grab an iron, and roll out.
It wasn't the same thing.
I made the mistake of not getting an iron that has automatic shut off. And so once I realized it at home, I said, well, I'm not going to take it back. I'm just going to remember to unplug it.
Because I ain't what your mind is programmed.
My mind ain't I haven't had an iron without automatic shut off in probably 20 years.
That's because that iron that you picked up was already $19.99, so you thought it already should have had automatic shut off. Now the automatic shut off is about $40.
The selection of irons is real slim these days.
I had to
they
go
only
to
got
Bed
5 to choose from.
I went to Bed Bath & Beyond to get mine because I couldn't find what I needed from the Target, the Walmart. I couldn't find what I wanted because I wanted a good steam one.
I never thought about Bed Bath & Beyond.
Yeah,
well,
and I have a coupon for you too.
I made a big mistake. I told myself I will just remember to turn this iron off. I will unplug this iron. Well, we get up on Sunday morning to rush to soccer practice. So I'm rushing because, we got to get Sashi ready and we got to do all what we got to do. And so I ironed and everything because, I ain't showing up for soccer practice wrinkled. I'm not doing that.
Can't be wrinkled.
I can't be wrinkled anywhere. And so I left. That was probably at 9 o'clock in the morning. 12 hours later, 9 o'clock at night, I'm sitting on the couch in the family room and all of a sudden, it hits me, the Lord, hallelujah. The Lord said to me, you need to go.
Get up and turn the iron off and put it up.
That ain't what the Lord said.
What did the Lord say, JP? What did the Lord say?
That's not what the Lord said. The Lord said, you need to go upstairs and count your CEUs. Well, the CEUs are in the closet where I keep the iron and ironing board. Okay. Well, what's also in there, as my wife has pointed out, is clothes because I got clothes in all the closets. We don't have.
Yeah, we already discussed that a couple of weeks ago when she said, "Yeah, can I get one closet?" I remember that.
The woman got one closet. She got 2 closets.
And how many closets in the house?
That's not the point.
Okay, come on. We're gonna stay on. We're gonna stay on point.
So I go up there. That was just a random thought. I go up there and open the door. That iron was on. There was a shirt hanging on the iron.
What?
The iron doesn't have, because there's shirts hanging and then there's the ironing board. So there's like shirts and then the ironing board, and one of the shirts was touching the iron and it was scorched. And I immediately said, thank you, Jesus. The Lord told me, because I wouldn't randomly be thinking about going up and counting CEUs at 9 o'clock at night. If I would not have went in there, there would have been a fire. So that's one of my testimonies, is that when you pray every day, Lord, please protect my family from anything ignorant or stupid that I might do or that anybody else might do, these prayers get answered.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
The other testimony is short. I was at the gym and I came walking out the locker room and I found a diamond marriage band, wedding band. And here's what's interesting about that, because, I can't see. I got my
We know.
glasses. They for distance, but it's annoying to wear them. So I usually wear them just to drive, or I bring them here in the studio to see what Mr. Walker's screwing up in the technology area. You see, because I never know what's going to go wrong.
We never know.
So I have to bring my glasses in here to see what we look like.
Well, I have a line down my face right now.
Let me tell you. And you got your eyes fixed though.
Yes, I did.
See?
Yes, I did.
See, I can't see the line down your face because I ain't wearing my glasses. But I didn't even have my glasses on when I found this wedding
Was it a
band.
man
It was
or
a
a woman?
man's wedding
that means
band.
it was nice with diamonds.
With diamonds on it. Oh yeah, it was almost as nice as mine. Because I got diamonds too. Yes, absolutely. And so of course I picked it up and turned it in, took it to the front desk.
Ah, look at that. Look at God. Honest people.
Oh yeah. The very next day I lost my Coach wallet in IHOP. Now,
How did you lose your Coach wallet in IHOP? You took it out and put it back in your wallet?
this was
Not
a situation.
lost. You left?
Well, here's what happened. I parked the car. I get Sashi out of the car. Now, the car is parked right in the front of IHOP.
Oh, okay.
So when you do the math, there's the car parked right. It was crowded. The lobby was full. The entryway, whatever it's called, was full. So I parked my car right up front. I walk in. We had to wait. So we sat down to wait. And when they called us to get up, I got up, I grabbed my baby, I grabbed my phone. I somehow had the wallet on the other side of me and I left it. Now, this is a situation where a for real criminal would have been like, I see that car and this is a Coach wallet. I'm rolling up out of here because there might be some
We know it's
debit cards and
it's
some
all
credit
type
cards
of stuff up
and
in
some
here.
stuff up in
We
here.
finna hurry up and use them before he figure it out.
And I didn't have any idea where it was. We sitting in the restaurant. We ordered
How
food.
was you gonna pay for the food?
Sashi was gonna have to wash dishes up in IHOP. We ordered the food, and that's when I realized, where is my wallet? So I tell the waitress, I said, "Ooh, I am so sorry. I lost my wallet. I didn't even know where it was. I thought maybe I had left it in Nadine's car or something." I said, "You need to cancel our order because I don't have any money." And she's like, "Oh, it's okay. As I was walking out, there was a customer who said they turned in a wallet. He wasn't even the person who turned it in. Apparently everybody in the lobby knew. And so I said, "What?" And so I go up there and they had the wallet and I was like, "Thank you, Jesus," once again.
Wow.
So I turn in the wedding ring one day, the next day somebody turns in my wallet. So
Wow.
of course I'm like, who turned this wallet in? I said, because I need to pay for their food. I need to give them a reward. I don't care if it's like 10 people
'Cause it
and they
would've been
all
so
order Rudy Tooty
much-
Fresh and Fruity.
It would have been so much problem trying to cancel everything, trying to get everything back here. Because now you have to do an appointment to get your driver's license redone.
It's a
Social
situation.
Security card. It's just a lot.
And what I've learned from it, I'm going to stop taking my whole wallet into places. I'm going to just take what I need. I'm going to just take my debit card and that's it.
That's what I
and
do
put
now.
It, yeah, you can't take all your business up in places and take a chance on leaving it. And
Or
there's your
maybe you
debit
need to
cards,
get a
credit
man's
cards, and all of
purse.
this. My Coach wallet is
I
this
know-
big.
I
It
know.
don't fit in my pocket.
I know, but maybe you need to get a man's purse.
Oh, you mean like you know what? They do have those,
Like a backpack, or you can get a
it's like a little
crossbody.
backpack. Yes.
You can get a crossbody. Go ahead on.
I did buy one of those. I just haven't been wearing it because I bought Nadine one and hers is real nice leather. And mine looks cheap compared to hers. And so I need a better
You
one.
need a better.
Because I was like, I don't like mine after I bought hers. I was like, she's hooked up. I need to hook myself because mine looks cheap and I don't want to wear something that looks cheap. And so,
But mind you, when he bought it, it wasn't cheap, everyone.
no, but I want a nice one. And so you're right. I need to carry that. But the point of all of this is, one, pray. Pray every day. Pray a lot.
And be sincere in
and-
your prayers.
And you know, when you pray, your prayers will be answered. And basically, if you live your life right, God will take care of you. So that's my
in
two,
His graces. Yes,
that's it. That's
those
my
were two good
testimonies.
ones.
Yeah. Two little testimonies. Okay, let's get to mental health and illness in the news.
Well, our engineer, Mr. Walker, said it was a lot in the news this week.
Really, like what?
Like what, Mr. Walker? And he's also our researcher.
He didn't know that. I need to know, because that's current events.
He said it was a lot in the news. You know, everyone knows I don't watch the news.
D, I'm not even gonna get started on that. The professor tends to follow the news pretty well because my news is not current events. Did we miss something significant?
Did Gerald miss something significant? Because I don't mess with the news. Come on, Mr. Walker. You said it was a lot of mental health and illness in the news this week.
They missed it. They missed it. Okay, let's talk about ruminating. What, Professor?
So what do you call it? Well, some people call it
Uh-oh.
Here comes the
psychopathic
professor.
lying.
Huh?
Psychopathic lying.
Oh, psychopathic lying.
Yeah, where
Pathological lying.
Yeah, I'd have made
No,
up
they
a
said-
whole
they
nother
started calling
word.
it so-
Yeah,
I thought he said
well, I'm
social.
rolling with the professor.
Yeah,
but I
okay.
fixed it. It's pathological lying.
Okay.
What about it? Who does that?
Was that, well, homie, was that even mental health in illness in the week?
oh,
This is just something the professor wants to talk about.
Throughout.
Well, one of them got elected. Someone got elected,
Yes.
and he got a bunch of stuff.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, I did hear them.
Yes.
his right name.
George Santos.
They don't know if that's his real name.
Yeah, well, that is his name, but he, as an alias, okay, George Santos, this is an interesting story from the news. He is the newly elected he's a representative for New York's 3rd Congressional District. Okay, you see how I be on it? You see how I already had this story pulled up.
I seen you
I wasn't
did.
planning on talking about it, but since the professor brought it up. Okay,
In a funny
apparently-
type of way, but he brought it up.
His name is George Santos, but as an alias, he was going by his 2 middle names, and apparently everything that he said throughout his campaign was a lie. Now, politicians lie all the time
All the
anyway,
time.
but his lying was on a pathological level. He would lie about things that he's done. Apparently, because he's the first openly gay elected representative from that district.
Who knows if he's really even gay?
Well, apparently he was a drag queen in Brazil, and
That do not mean
he
that you're gay
competed-
because you're a drag queen.
well, he's denying it because he competed in some drag queen pageants. But here's the lies that are concerning: is he has stolen and embezzled money from people, even
Posy schemes and things like that.
well, like a GoFundMe account for there was a man whose dog was dying and needed treatment, and they raised $3,000 to save the dog's life. He stole the $3,000 and the dog died. Okay, he lied. He lied. Why are y'all laughing about that? That's not the man's dog died. This man is sad. He would tell lies that because he's conservative, so he was speaking against some of the COVID precautions and saying that out of his 10 or 15 properties, he hasn't been able to collect any rent because of these COVID policies. And then they find out this fool don't own any property. All of that was a lie.
What?
And, oh yeah, yeah. And so
Those are dangerous people.
there's lots of lie places he said he worked. They researched it. These companies are like, he
is
never
he?
worked for us. They found out he did work for a company that stole money from all of its clients, investors. And so basically, the professor is correct. He's already elected though, but that is an example of a pathological level of lying.
Just lies for no reason at all.
Yes. Yes. Well, and here's the thing. There are people who lie out of habit, and then there are people who lie to advance themselves. He's lying to advance himself. There's a clinical term for it that's escaping me right now because like I'm over 50 and I can't remember what it is.
Can't remember everything anymore.
But there is a clinical term for that type of lying. But the other clinical term is, it's pathological. Okay.
But what advancement for himself was he getting when he's
to get
talking?
elected.
Okay. But he said he had all these properties and didn't get any money. Well, he was just getting a sympathy vote then?
Yeah. Just want to. He tells lies that don't even make sense. Like they asked his opponent, "Well, how do you celebrate the holidays?" And the opponent said, "Oh, me and my family, we sit around, we eat Haagen-Dazs, and we wear sweats." And so then they asked him, "Well, how do you celebrate the holidays?" He said, "Well, me and my family, we sit around, we eat Haagen-Dazs, we wear sweats." And it's like, y'all do the same damn thing he do. How do y'all know each other? Y'all in the same family? And so they were like, why is he, what is that about?
It's even bigger than just him being a liar.
So, Gerald.
It's bigger.
So,
yes.
So, are there people that do that and they actually believe
Some do.
they're lying?
They
Or
live in
telling-
their lies.
If
Yes.
you lie enough, they end up convincing themselves that their lie is the truth,
It's the
which
truth.
causes them to hold on to it more. But here is something else that can happen when a person is lying to you on that level. They cause you to question reality. They can cause you to think, because I remember this happened sometimes when Nadine and I had foster kids, and even though we knew we caught them, they would hold to the lie so much that you start questioning.
Girl, wait a minute,
really
Gerald.
see him
Was one of your foster kids one of my ex-husbands?
Oh my Lord!
Wait a minute.
I hope he ain't listening to the show. He gonna be mad.
He was telling me that my eyes were lying. What? I mean,
Yes, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because in couples therapy, and I recently had a couple talk about this, but I've had multiple couples do this, where there's infidelity and a cheating spouse who holds on to their lie. Even though that spouse has caught them red-handed, they can convince them, you did not really see what you thought you saw.
Your eyes are lying.
And the spouse is like, I know, well, was him and that woman having sex in our bed when I walked in? Because he's saying they was just laying there.
Well, why is she even in my bed? Why is she at my house? Why does she even know where I live at?
But a pathological liar.
I'm surprised the other woman is still alive and him.
Yes. A person who holds to their lies will cause you to question what you know to be true.
No, it needs to be true.
And so what I ended up doing is I would just shut it down with kids who would do that, because it's like, no, I know what I saw and I know what I heard. You're never going to tell the truth. Lying carries its own consequence. You getting a consequence for what you did. You getting a consequence for lying, and we're done discussing it.
It's done. It's
Right.
over with. Yeah.
So, but yeah, that is some pathological lying. Okay, let's get to our question of the day, which really isn't going to take a whole lot of time. What I was going to cover in mental health and illness in the news can wait until next week. Okay, now, back to the question of the day. How do I fire a family member from my company? I have hired multiple family members, and unfortunately, some are not working out. How do I fire them without making things awkward at Sunday dinner? Here's my thoughts on this. Ultimately, this is what we, in mental health, we call that a dual relationship. A dual relationship is when you have one relationship with a client, like they're your client, and then you show up at the car lot and you buy a car from them, and it creates an ethical dilemma in the therapy, because now you're the client's customer and they your client, and it jacks up the therapy. Okay, so it's a dual relationship. And so in business, when you hire a family member, it can be a dual relationship. And oftentimes this does not go well and does not end well. I suggest avoiding it. These situations, the only time I think that they really pan out well is if the family member you hire is a person who you have been in a position of authority over in the past or throughout their life. For example, there's a big difference between hiring your kid and hiring your Aunt Josephine, okay? Because Aunt Josephine used to change your butt, okay? She done gave you whoopings. She took care of you, and now she's working for you, and you trying to tell Aunt Josephine to do something. She's like, that ain't the best way to do that, baby. Let me show you how to do that. But when
they will do that.
They will do that. But if you hire your kids already know what your expectations are. They already know what your management style is because you manage the household. You basically manage them. I think that this can be successful if you hire somebody who you have already been in a position of authority over. And that's why I liked it that you said, D, that your kids work for you, but your kids been doing what you tell them their whole life. So they're not going to be defiant employees.
Now. They're adults now.
But even though they're adults, when you interact with your parent, or maybe it's just me, even as an adult, when I interacted with my parent, like, that still was my mama. She still was like the boss. Like, I don't know. I wasn't challenging her. If I would have worked for my mother in her beauty shop, even as an adult, if she'd have said do something, I just would automatically did it because, like, it's your mama. She been telling you what to do.
Well, now these kids nowadays feel as though that being a mother or father is nothing but a title. That's what was told to me last night.
Did they have to pick themselves up off the floor after saying that?
Because I'm getting better.
Nothing but a
myself.
title.
It's nothing but a title.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why would a kid
You're speechless,
say that?
huh?
I'm actually I don't even know how to respond to that. How do you say to the person who had you, raised you, instilled your whole foundation,
made you
for
who
you are as a person, but they're just a title, as if a robot could have did what you did as a mother? It's just a title?
It's just a title.
What was your response to that, D?
I'm like, yeah, you're so right. And guess what this title is going to stop doing?
Oh, I know that's right. It's time to cut them off.
It's time to cut him off. I'm going to give him, and this is my oldest son. And that's because I don't agree with a lot of his teaching, his parenting skills. And I try to do them with very soft gloves on, and he just doesn't want to hear what I'm telling him, but I'm seeing that him and his son is going to be a very bad relationship. And his son is 16 now. So it's like I'm trying to stop something before I see it really blow up.
Right.
And then the correction that he did to me, and my grandkids love me except for that little girl. And
that sweet baby to be in here.
She's just like me, so we just like oil and water.
She lived with you though. Y'all was just high a couple of weeks ago on gummies by accident.
By accident.
For those of you who didn't see that episode, the D and the grandbaby was accidentally high on some gummies.
It wasn't gummies. It was those strawberry.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, them strawberry shortcakes.
That's right. My mental health and news, mental health and illness in the news story was about kids eating gummies, but y'all was on a whole nother level.
We was on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
We slept good too.
That baby loved you.
Yeah, but it was just like, I just think that he's so hard on his sons. And I understand about men, and Mom, I got to get them ready because I don't want nobody. And I understand all of that. But I just think there's a way. And, well, Mama, you was hard. I wasn't that hard on you. I really wasn't that hard on you. I was really a loving mother, and I was a young mother. And, we're just two different, So he just.
Tell him to be careful to not make the mistake
Come on now.
of focusing so much on raising his boys to be men, black men who are going to survive in America, because we do have to raise our sons to be able to survive as black men in America. But what we also have to realize is that there needs to be a balance between the structure and the nurturing.
And that's what I was trying to explain to you.
And if you are predominantly being the disciplinarian, putting the structure and being that's hard, I gotta be hard on them so they survive, and you ignore their innate biological need for nurturing.
And he has residential care. So that means 85% of the week they're with him.
That's a problem, because our depression and anxiety rates among black men have skyrocketed.
Yes.
Due in part because people want to act like it's just because of the pandemic. That's why all these black men are struggling with depression and anxiety. That's not true.
No.
They are also struggling with depression because they had some latent underlying depression because of the lack of nurturing as a child, because they were so busy being raised to be able to survive in America as a black man that their psychological and emotional needs were neglected. And that is the reason why so many black men are struggling with anxiety and depression.
Exactly.
And these black men that I'm seeing in therapy, yeah, they absorbed all the lessons that they were taught. They're, employed, and they take care of their family, and they do all of that.
Making good money too.
They make good money. So yeah, I'm not saying that what you're doing is not going to help a kid, but you have to meet all of a kid's needs. You have to provide them with the nurturing. It has been scientifically proven that children, be they male, be they female, be they African American, white, purple kids too, they have to have their psychological and emotional needs met. It makes for a well-rounded human being.
Of needs.
Yes, that is a part of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And when you neglect that, you set them up to experience depression.
They're missing something.
And anxiety.
They're missing it.
So he's basically validating what he does by saying, well, my mama was hard on me too. So it's good that you pointed out to him, I wasn't this hard on you.
I wasn't that hard.
I wasn't doing what you doing. Now, what did he say to that?
Mama. Oh, no, my name's Stacy.
Because mama's just a
Mama's just a title.
I wonder
and
why
I got
he
up
said that.
and I walked up out the restaurant.
That was his way of saying, even though you my mom, you don't have a
telling
right
me to stay out of his business. That's
comment.
what he wanted to say, and I probably would have took that a little bit better than how he came to me.
But it is your business.
It is my business
because they're your grandkids.
Exactly, because y'all started from out of me.
And legally, grandparents have rights in this country.
Yeah, they really do.
So this is something.
And they 16. It's almost over with. I could take them.
This is. I mean, you could take them before 16.
But legally, I could take them. They only got 2 years. They can drive and everything now. Hey, they can cook. They can stay home alone. Come on over to Honey's house.
Come on over to your honey's house.
And they would really, truly love that.
Those are your grandkids. It is your business.
It is my business.
He can't tell you mind your own business when they're your grandkids.
But it's twins, and he's only really hard on his namesake. And it really bothers me because he says that he sees things in him that he doesn't like. And I'm like, what the hell are you seeing in him? He just act like them other people. Who's the other people?
What other people?
His mama's side of the family, because all of them are in jail. And the other twin, he likes sports, but my other grandson is very artful.
Why is that a problem?
He like to, and he says he sees other things in him. Not being gay or anything like that, but that don't matter to me. But just like, his other uncles and stuff is in jail. And he said, I just don't want to see him go down that path.
What is he seeing, though?
He can't never tell me.
He can't put his finger on it?
He can't verbalize it.
He just senses it?
He can't verbalize it to me.
Well, he needs to articulate himself before he tells his mama that she need to mind her own business. Because you need to know.
But if he had been in my house, it would all it would have
would've
played
been-
out differently.
It'd have played out differently.
But we were up in a restaurant.
But here's a problem. When you are having a disagreement with your mother and she is trying to offer you guidance and you're rejecting her guidance and saying, I know what I'm doing, you need to be able to support your statement. He's not able to articulate why he is taking this parenting approach. So,
And he didn't come out very bad at all. I mean, he's self-employed, making great money. I mean,
because you did a good job.
did a good job.
Right.
And I gave you that loving part. Like we would all lay up in my bed and watch TVs. This is what we did.
Quality time.
Quality time. Or we'll sit up and learn a new game, or we'll just play games. We at least did that 2 times. And even when I was younger and I didn't have my children, when my mama took my children from me, every Saturday I had to spend all day Saturday with my children. And it wasn't me going out spending no money. Literally, I had to be in the house.
Quality time.
Quality time. My mom made me do that.
Yes. And he's missing that. He's missing that part.
He's missing that part.
But it is a problem when, because I wonder if it was out of frustration because he can't articulate
It might have been
his rationale. So instead, he decided to just be insulting to get you to back off. Well, mama's just a title. And
he
basically
knew I
you need
wasn't
to
going to
mind your
act too
business.
big a fool because I done got a little bit more sense now. Because I used to didn't care where I be.
He could have got it.
When you know better, you do better. So I knew better and I did better. And I said my couple of words. And I said, happy birthday, grandson. Here you go, your money. And I'll call you next week and we can go do something. You and I can have honey time. That's what I call it, honey time. And we can have honey time.
Yeah, he took advantage of you having a gentler spirit now.
I keep telling you that, keep taking my meekness for weakness.
You're right, and that's a problem.
It's a problem. So
Okay.
back to our question of the day.
Does he work for you?
Yes, he does.
Okay.
3 out the 4 work for me.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Here's my thoughts. If you gonna do something crazy like hire your family members, here's what I suggest. Set the parameters before you offer them the position.
Okay, stop. And what he means by that, listen here. If you want to act ignorant like all the people that come in off the streets, you will be getting dealt with like all the people that come off the streets. You will get fired. Point blank. Period. And don't try to go get unemployment on me, because after I paper and pencil you, they're going to be like, hell no, you should have got fired and bye. You're not getting no unemployment. Next.
That's what I meant. Set the parameters. The D just broke it down. That business is business and family, personal is personal, and there's a difference. Once you start working here, okay, I ain't your cousin Junebug or you ain't my big mama. This is business. And not all employment situations are a good fit. This is the conversation you have before you bring your family member on board. You set the stage to be able to fire them. You let them know not all employment situations are a good fit. If this turns out not to be a good fit, I am going to have to let you go. Do not take it personal. We don't have to be awkward at Sunday dinner. Okay? Don't take it as judgment that I'm saying that you don't have a good work ethic, or I'm just saying that you're not exactly a good fit for the business that I am running. You set those parameters, or you can break it all the way down like the D, because you heard what the D just said. You act like a fool off the street, you go get handled like a fool off the street. Okay, and so that's my suggestion. If you're going to do it, you just make it clear to them up front. I have only, let me think, once or twice did I have some family members work for me. I have been unable to keep an assistant and fire them quickly. But as I think about it, if it would have been a family member, it would have been more difficult, because it really can get awkward at the family gatherings if you have fired a family member. unless it's your kid, though. See, when it's your kid, I think it goes over better than if you firing your auntie or your uncle or your grandma. You can't even fire your
I have
grandma.
all type of family members working for me.
Do they do a good job, though?
Okay, so now we come into the D's thing. Yes, I bring them into the office. I let them know that actually the bar is higher for you than it is the one off the street.
To let them know.
To let them know, yeah. I'm not asking but nothing but your best.
Right.
And I'm going to make you walk in that. Because I'm in the birthing stages and I'm not taking on no dead weight.
Right.
Then I might call my auntie and tell my auntie too.
Now, and you
I
let
put
them,
an extra feeling on there.
Right.
Now, auntie, you wanted me to, because I'm telling you, you always get the phone call from your auntie, your grandma, your uncle. Baby, can you give Destiny a job?
oh,
Now, I'm going to do this. But if she don't do what she's supposed to do, auntie, I'm going to have to let her go. Because this is my business. I'm not looking. I do everything in an orderly fashion.
it's business.
Orderly fashion. Everything is done in an orderly fashion. And I let her know. And then when she do one thing, auntie, she's not coming like she's supposed to. Now, I'm going to let you talk to her first, and then it's going to be me. And then I actually have an HR person. So then I move it on to the HR person. So then it's really not on me, too.
Which-
so I think I'm being a punk, though, but I'm just moving it over, too.
But that kind of prevents. Okay, I know we got to wrap this up.
No,
that
we have extra time.
Oh, okay. That kind of prevents you from being in a dual relationship if you have the HR person fire them.
And even give them more direction. Like I might give them some direction like, hey, I've been noticing da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm not going to be able to save you because everybody knows that's my favorite word, in an orderly fashion. I does everything in an orderly fashion. That's how it's stated in the Bible. That's how God wants us to do things.
Right.
And that's how we get our graces.
Right.
So everybody knows that's my little key words that I always say. So I'm giving you a heads up.
Yeah.
I ain't got nothing else because next time it's going to HR. She's going to pick up on that.
This is a really good tip that the D is giving. If you're going to hire family members, hire an HR person to deal with any problems that you have with them. And then when the HR, because they're going to come to you. When HR pulls them into the office to check them, they're going to come, yo, HR person. What you do is say, I hired them to do a job. They
Same job you supposed to be doing that you not doing.
they have the authority to carry out their job duties. If you
Correct.
end up in trouble on this job, I cannot stop that
can't
HR
help it.
person from firing you. Now, a family member gonna say, yes, you can, you own this company. That's my agreement with them. But what you get to do is you get to be removed from firing them.
Yes.
Because your HR person gonna call you, be like, listen,
Do what you need
I got
to
to
do.
fire. Your cousin Junebug is a problem. Fire
Do
that
what
fool.
you need to do.
Don't tell the fool that I told you to fire him though.
Yeah,
But if you
but
got
do
to
what
fire
you
this
need-
fool,
write them up and do the steps. It
the
needs
proper
to be. Yes,
steps.
the proper steps.
That's the way to be able to hire family members.
The only way.
And not really have a dual relationship. Yeah, you're still their employer, but you're not doing both roles of cooking them Sunday dinner and firing them.
Yep, you are removed.
And so when they call you crying, like you don't know that they got fired by the HR person, they call you crying, you just say,
Ooh,
I wish it was something I could do.
it is. You own the company. No, there's nothing I can do. Sorry.
Here's the thing. The group practice that Nadine and I are starting, I'm in a really good position because we're only hiring therapists. It ain't nobody in the family a therapist.
It
Except
is,
me,
too.
her. My nephew has his own
Yeah.
practice.
Do we? I didn't know he had his own practice.
He has his own private practice.
That's what's up. I mean, I knew he had his own private practice, but I thought he might want to come to the
He
group
has
practice.
hugely successful
That is
private
what's up.
practice.
I'm so proud of nephew.
Oh yeah,
That's so good.
My nephew's practice
Look, he took it from you and that's what they supposed to do. The generation above us supposed to take it and just really go overboard with it.
This is my nephew who, when we were working at the center, because I didn't get off till 8, 9 o'clock, and when I would get home, he would have all his chores done. But what he would do in his spare time, he would read the DSM. He started preparing to become a therapist as a teenager. This is my nephew, David Strode. I'm so proud of my nephew. Okay,
but
the
you
boy was reading the
but
DSM.
You did that seed though, Gerald.
Yes,
you did that seed. He seen his uncle.
Oh yeah.
It was his role model.
Yeah, and interestingly, because when my nephew was living with me, it's because him and my sister was having some problems. Of course, I blame her because he's my nephew. I'm not gonna blame him. And here's the thing, something for your son to think about is him living with me. I'm real structured. I don't play. I don't put up with no crap.
Except for with Sasha, because she has no bedtime.
But she gon' have one. My structure comes later. My structure comes later as the kids get older.
So okay, everybody. So we done seen that JP says he has structure, but don't really have structure. JP says that he does not have 2 different rules for boys and girls. Okay, who is the pathological? Wait. What did the professor say? Psychological liar.
The professor made up a term.
And he don't even have enough letters behind his name to do that yet.
I am
the psychological liar.
I am not guilty. But I am more structured as kids get older. But the thing about my nephew, and him and I have a close relationship to this day, he's 40 years old, the nurturing was there. This is my nephew who, when my sister would threaten him, keep it up, I'm gonna make you go live with your uncle, like it was a consequence because I'm so strict. Oh, your uncle's so strict. You're gonna be living with a therapist in therapy all day, every day. Here's the thing. My nephew, even when he wasn't living with me, he was with me all the time. Mm-hmm. This is my nephew who, even if I had a date, even if I was in the middle of a date, when he would call, I'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, I gotta go.
Hold on, everybody. I just want to put our time in preferences. And, when he called, it wouldn't be, because we didn't have cell phones then, so he would get a page.
Right. And when my nephew called,
when he paged and did his little numbers behind it was time to go.
I would leave in the middle of parties to go pick up my nephew and spend that quality time with him. So I'm all for being structured and raising black men to survive in America, but you have to do that nurturing piece also. And when I watch my nephew with his sons and his daughters, he is so nurturing. He's structured, but he's nurturing. They have to have that.
You have to have it.
I just wanted to go back to that real quick. So hopefully with you and your son, y'all will work this out. Okay.
Oh, we will. Because we only have 2 weeks to be mad. That's a rule. That's our rule in our family.
When y'all work it out, can you let him know to never say that to you again?
Oh, he's gonna come back and apologize.
Okay, good.
He has 2 weeks. He's gonna come and apologize.
You gotta let grown kids know what they can never ever say to you.
Don't say that.
So on this,
and I do want to put a note is that my children are very respectful, because they don't cuss in front of me. Mm-hmm. They don't allow their significant others to cuss in front of me. It can be friends. I'm like, hey, I don't know what you do in front of your mama, but we don't do that language in front of mine. And they, Miss Stacy, we sorry, yeah. So they're responsible. I just made him upset trying to tell him how to correct his child.
Well, because people take it very personally. Mm-hmm. When you say something about their parenting. That's everybody.
Everybody.
Parenting is
no matter how soft or easy you do it, it's almost no way to do it.
There's almost no way to. In fact, I typically do not outside of therapy. People handle it well in therapy because they come in for that advice.
They come in
and
for
that feedback, so they can handle it better. But when it comes to family members, I typically do not say anything. But if it was my own kid,
Yeah.
that's different.
So we got a couple more minutes. Let me ask you a question. 60 minutes, 60 seconds. I have a niece who has a son that I have seen autistic. He's artistic. She's in denial. And I was like,
Oftentimes.
can you call parents as teachers? Because I think he needs a little bit of more help. Oh, she got so upset with me. She didn't come to me, but she went to her mama. And her mama said, well, you know how your Auntie Stacy is, so she telling you the truth, so you need a guy to call parents as
Right.
teachers.
Right. We have had that problem in our family. When you even hint that a child might be autistic or anything's wrong with them, people snap.
And they see it. If I can just walk
they're
in there and be in there for
denial.
5 minutes and see it.
Right.
Whoa.
But it's people are in denial. They don't want to accept that, and so they'll be in denial. And what happens is
They
the
miss
whole
out.
family be seeing it, but everybody's like, "Ooh, we can't address that." That's
And they
too
don't
much.
understand, especially when they're really on the spectrum. They're at the end of the beginning of the spectrum. It's really good to, like I was trying to tell her, it's really good to get in there and get that now, so
Early
he can get it.
intervention.
Yes, so he can get it, he can learn it, and then he'll learn how to deal with it, how
Yes.
to understand it, and it'll be better for him in the long run. I said,
Yes.
you're gonna wait till he gets too old, he's not gonna understand it, and it's gonna be a bigger problem.
Right, because you don't want to let them get too far behind.
Yes, because that's what's gonna happen.
Autism requires early
Yes.
intervention. But this is something that is
He's
a
3
taboo
years old.
subject in families.
Yes.
Family members do not like pointing that out to other family members because they snap.
She didn't snap on me because she respect me, but she wouldn't have told on me. She told her mama and her grandma. I didn't care, and they had my side. It was like, well, you know, Stacey know what she's talking about.
But this is what is also what usually happens is once they do accept the reality of it and they get the kid tested, they do come back and they apologize.
I call parents as teachers myself.
Good.
Well, you guys, I hope we answered these questions for you today, and you had a good
Covered a
old
lot
time.
today.
We sure did. We don't know what it was on topic or not, but we had a good old time.
That is
Like always.
Like always. And that is our show for today. Thank you for joining us. And remember, worry about nothing.
And as JP showed you earlier, pray about everything.
Thank you and God bless.
Bye-bye now.